Hold on. Back on my bullshit. These niggas been hating, get hit with a full clip. They say they don't like me. They want me to hit them with something so shiesty. I said it so nicely. They don't understand why my chain is so icy. Now talk to me nice. They calling my phone saying talk to me nice. Hold on. Wait. Then I hit on my jeweler.
It is officially All-Star break, and the Yankees are on a historic pace. What's going on, guys? It's the King of 161st Street. I am back with another video, and this video might be a little longer than usual because I sort of want to go over what I hope to see from the Yankees moving forward, along with recapping what we saw in the series against Boston. If you guys are new here, hit that sub button. Like the video if you enjoy this. Comment below your thoughts on what the Yankees should do post-trade deadline. And let's get into it. So, first, let's go over what the Yankees did against Boston. They dominated those last two games after a rough, and I mean rough, start to the series. Gumby had a rough first inning in that game, giving up two right off the bat to Devers. But the Yankees come right back with three of their own off of a Giancarlo Stanton home run. Put us back on top. Then Vasquez homers, Dahlbeck homers off of Aroldis Chapman. We get some luck in the field in the bottom of the ninth to tie it up. And then the Red Sox score off of a wild pitch. It was a rough way to lose a game against Boston, especially with how we played against Cincinnati. Just didn't start off the way you'd like to see it. But those next two games were pretty freaking good. For a win now, 14-1. Matt Carpenter has turned into Jesus Christ himself. The man is Jesus Christ himself. He is probably the best hitter the best hitter on the team during this little rough patch the Yankees have been on. He has been the rock that has kept us together. Because holy shit, ever since he has joined the team, and who would have thought getting a guy like Matt Carpenter would be so important to this team's success? Because now they can find ways to sit Gallo, find time to sit Judge at times when he needs breaks. Stanton, same thing. Now they can play around with the lineups a little bit. All because Carpenter is hitting the cover off of the ball. The guy's absolutely fantastic. Has a great stash to go along with it. I mean, what a start he has gotten off to with the New York Yankees, and I can't wait to see what he does come September, October. If this Matt Carpenter stays with us, like if he can continue this type of success going into October, I would love to see what this team could do with that type of bat in the lineup. But really, overall, in the first half, it has been a resounding success. Literally every publication said the Yankees are not making the playoffs. Said the AL East is too stacked at this point. We're going to be behind the Toronto, we're going to be behind Tampa, and some publications said that we would be behind Boston. That we were the fourth team. We were fourth fiddle because we didn't go after the big name. Boston got Story. Freaking the Blue Jays got freaking Chapman. They didn't look at the fact that the Blue Jays lost the rock in their locker room last year in Marcus Semien. They didn't see the fact that they lost the Cy Young in Robbie Ray. Yes, they replaced him with Kevin Gausman, but they also replaced him with the Yusei Kikuchi. which, by the way, if you don't really know the whole story about Yuseki Kikuchi, he is god awful. He came over from Japan. Everyone had such high expectations for him, and he has fully shit the bed. I seemed like a Yankees homer when I made that video before the season started. Why the Yankees are the best team in Major League Baseball. It don't look that, or best team in the AL East, I said. But it don't look that, it doesn't look that surprising now. I mean, you sort of saw the Red Sox start to struggle because Trevor Story had to get used to Fenway Park over Coors Field. You could see the Blue Jays struggles coming. The loss of a rock in their locker room. Having to fix the pitching situation that they have, along with injuries that they've had. Tampa, they've just been riddled with injuries this year. So we don't know exactly what would have been had they been at full strength. But they traded away Austin Meadows. They traded away a lot of guys because they can't afford to pay them. So I don't know how these publications didn't see what we saw. Because I know everyone watching, you guys saw it too. We were seeing that the Yankees had a chance to be this good. At least be number one in the East. I don't think anyone expected the Yankees to be close to breaking records. But when you have a team that's just... And you know what? I have to give Brian Cashman so much credit. Because when you make a team that is built on chemistry, that locker room will never fail. Like, they've got so many people in that locker room now. Josh Donaldson, Anthony Rizzo, Aaron Judge even. Now Matt Carpenter with his veteran presence. But all these guys in the locker room now who know winning baseball. And they know how to get it done. When you have that type of camaraderie, and then Josh Donaldson's also a fresh sort of perspective. He sort of gave the Yankees that fuck you perspective of like, we're going to be the bad guys here at times. We don't always have to be the nice guys here. Sometimes we could style on them. We could actually say, fuck you. And you could see that Judge is getting a little bit more feisty. Anthony Rizzo is getting there. All these guys are just, they've sort of gained a side to them that I really love seeing. That sort of like dog mentality. That's what Josh Donaldson brought. And I know so many people were ragging on Cashman for the Donaldson deal because of how much money he's getting paid. How old he is. That we got rid of Gio when everyone was like celebrating that we got rid of Gary Sanchez, yes. But the fact we got rid of Gio and we're replacing him with Josh Donaldson, so many people were throwing shit at Cashman, and he built probably the most perfect team he could have with the pieces that he had. It's just, I think Brian Cashman deserves, from a lot of people, he deserves an apology. Because he didn't go out and sign the Story. He did not sign the Correa. He said, I am valuing chemistry over talent. I am valuing going after guys who will make the locker room mold together rather than guys just because their skill level might be a little higher. Now I'm going to throw him in there. And Isaiah Kiner-Falefa has been an underrated player for this team. So many people right now are overstating the whole IKF can't field. He botches simple plays. Yes, he has a high amount of errors, but errors do not tell the full story. If you look at defense in its entirety based off of errors, that's like looking at a player's entire offensive game by just looking at average. It's not going to give you what you need. If you want to look at a good stat to see how good a player is defensively, defensive runs saved. See how many runs they are saving for your team rather than giving up. 0 is an average defensive run saved. And IKF is at a 3 defensive run saved. So he is a good defender back there. A lot more. And you see it in the series against Boston. How in the series at the stadium against Boston, how he was making plays through the hole that you see Gleyber Torres last year, he wasn't making those plays. There's a lot of plays that Gleyber Torres was not making last year. IKF has been a success for the Yankees, and Yankee fans gotta start seeing that. He is not the shitty shortstop that these guys on Twitter like to throw out. He is really fucking good. Yes, the errors do give you a cause for concern, but overall, he's a really good defender. And also offensively, a lot of people like to say, Mr. Ground Out to Short. Man, that guy has come up with big hits. That guy, even later on down this stretch, he has come up with big hits for this team. He sort of gives a different mentality at the plate than a lot of the Yankees right now, which a lot of the Yankees' way is power, power, power. He is full-on contact. He hasn't hit a home run in over 300 plate appearances, I think. He's not hitting for power, but you need that guy in the lineup that you can say, all right, go get me a hit, and he can do that. Sort of like a guy like DJ, who's also had a big bounce back year this year from the 2021 where he was unrecognizable. DJ LeMahieu has definitely come up and has been one of the, in some ways, underrated or overshadowed, I should say, not underrated. If you're a true Yankee fan, you know the value DJ's giving you. But he's sort of been an overshadowed figure in why this team is as good as it is. DJ LeMahieu has been a rock for this team. Whenever they need a hit, he's there. They need someone on base, he's getting on base. The man is back. And he may not win MVP like he might have deserved in 2020. That's up for debate. But he is still that guy in the lineup that pitchers will still fear. Even though he's not putting every ball over the wall like Judge or a Stanton. Pitchers will still fear DJ because he gives you great at-bats and he will find a way to get on base. Now let's get to some of the bad. The starting pitching to start the year was immaculate. And even with its slow 1 or 2 months, the pitching staff is still top 5 in every category in terms of like team success. So the pitching staff is not fully a problem, but Jameson Taillon is scaring me. He has had 4 or 5 straight terrible performances. And say what you want about some of his performances. If you give up 5 runs, all earned, and most of them off of the long ball, it's a cause for concern. So the Yankees probably at the deadline have to look starting pitching. Now, again, this could all change because Soto is officially, the Nationals are officially fielding offers for Juan Soto. So if the Yankees have any opportunity to get Juan Soto, fuck trading for a pitcher. You're going to score more runs. Get Juan Soto. Empty the farm system. But if they do not get Juan Soto, like the more likely scenario, you would hope it's Luis Castillo. He showed his value in the series against the Reds. Him and Nestor Cortez were going tit for tat in that game. It was very fun to watch, especially for a hardcore baseball fan. But I feel like even with how fast-paced it was going, even a casual fan could watch that game and be like, wow, this is actually pretty entertaining. I think Luis Castillo should be at the top of the list, but you might see the Yankees try to cheap out at that. I don't fully want to say cheap out. I more want to say they might go after a guy who's a project. Someone who Matt Blake can sort of mold into this dominant figure. Sort of like what they did with Clay Holmes last year. They might want to try and find a way to mold someone. If you want to see my full thoughts on who they should get, there's a video I posted last week on an article from The Athletic that had the 10 top pitchers that might be on the trade block, and I went over who would be a great fit for the Yankees. But overall, if Castillo is not a Yankee, they're going after a project type of guy, a Freeland guy, a Maile guy, someone like that. Someone who has had a rough start to their year, but the Yankees see something in them that if Matt Blake starts to fuck with the DNA a little bit, he can sort of formulate him into a stud. So that's a problem, and the Yankees have to find a way to keep Joey Gallo out of the lineup. And it pains me to say, because I was a big fan of the Joey Gallo signing. I thought the short porch would be his best friend in Major League Baseball. I thought that 314 out in right field would give him a 30-35 home run year this year. Hasn't happened. He's 30-35 home runs at the a large amount of home runs. I'm not saying 30-35 is great, but you get the point. But Joey Gallo, along with, and this sort of goes with it, you have to stop platooning Trevino and Higgy. Those two guys have to be out of the lineup. Both of them like to give you offense in spurts. They will go months without giving any offensive production. But then 2 days out of the year, they will hit bombs. Two straight days. And then you'll have the fans, oh, maybe Higgy's coming on. Maybe Gallo's coming on. If we're going to win a World Series, I don't want to see Higashioka or Joey Gallo on that roster. I think the Yankees will be trading Gallo, so that might not be an issue. My issue right now, which I'm sort of getting off the Gallo, Higashioka cannot be playing in a playoff atmosphere. I am sorry, but your defensive wizard started off the year with the most passed balls in baseball. And that was through June. It's been a bad year for him. And also offensively, he is getting more and more abysmal. While Trevino steals strikes, he made an all-star team based off of his offensive production. One of the better defensive catchers in baseball. You have to keep Trevino in that lineup. And I know a lot of people were Higgy sympathizers because they just wanted Gary out of the lineup. Gary's not here anymore. We have to start looking at Higashioka without the rose-colored glasses. We have to start actually looking at him for who he is. And who he is a glorified backup. He is a glorified backup catcher who maybe in a rebuilding organization can get starting playing time. Maybe all he needs is a new scenery and he can go and, I don't know, hit relatively well. And you know what? I don't hate the guy. The guy seems like a pretty cool guy. He seems like a cool guy to have in the locker room. But the Yankees have to start seeing that he is not producing. And if you are going to make an ALDS run, an ALCS run, and a World Series run, you are going to have production top to bottom. So that means Gallo's out of the lineup. That means Higashioka doesn't enter it at all. Now, if you wanted to say Hicks has playoff experience, and also he's not been as bad as people like to say. Higashioka and Gallo cannot be in a lineup that is hunting for a World Series ring. It is pathetic that they keep trying with Higashioka. They're giving him way more chances than they gave Gary. And they gave Gary a lot of chances. But it's starting to get to the point where you're like, you have an all-star at catcher, yet you're playing the guy who's better off being a backup? I don't know. Yankees have to stop playing Higgy. They have to find a way to get Gallo out of this locker room. It just never worked out with Gallo, and I know it hurts because all of us wanted him. We all wanted him to succeed here. We all thought his swing would be perfect for Yankee Stadium, but it really seems like pitchers have basically, they figured him out. And now he sort of either has to find a way to sort of figure it out again, how to succeed against these pitchers, or he's going to have a Chris Davis-esque decline to his career. That's about it. But overall, the start of this year has been absolutely amazing for the Yankees, and hopefully the second half is as good. The Yankees being up 14 games in their division makes me relatively confident that they have this division locked down. Hopefully, the month of August does not kill us, because you know those dog days like to affect teams in different ways. Hopefully, this lead does not get cut, and hopefully they can coast their way into the postseason and have a chance at a ring. But anyways, guys, hope you guys have enjoyed the videos for the first half of the season. If you did, leave a like down below and hit that sub button with post notifications set to all, so you never miss another video coming for the second half, postseason, and the whole off season. I am going to be recording every week, Mondays and Fridays. Yeah, that's it. Enjoy the All-Star break. I'm out of here. Peace.